Royal gatherings are usually a spectacle of elegance and unity, but sometimes they become the stage for drama that even the most experienced royal watchers don't see coming. Recently, something extraordinary happened. Prince William reportedly blocked Queen Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, from entering a high-profile royal event. The decision was bold, unexpected, and left everyone stunned. But what really turned heads was Camilla's reaction when she found out. The event in question was a charity gathering held at Windsor Castle, one of the most significant venues in the royal calendar. Carefully planned and attended by senior royals, it was supposed to showcase the monarchy's commitment to philanthropy and public service. But behind the scenes, tensions were brewing. Insiders say disagreements over the guest list had already caused some discomfort, with William drawing a firm line about Tom's attendance. Now, if you know Tom Parker Bowles, you'll understand why this decision raised eyebrows. Tom, Camilla's eldest son from her first marriage, has always been somewhat separate from royal life. He's a successful food critic and author, someone who prefers London's social circles to palace protocols. But to William, this difference mattered. Known for his meticulous protection of the monarchy's image, William reportedly saw Tom's presence as a distraction, a potential risk that could blur the lines between Camilla's personal life and the royal family's public duties. So why did William take such a bold step? Was it about royal protocol, personal tensions, or something deeper? And what exactly did Camilla do when she found out her son was blocked? The answer might just leave you speechless. Every year, the royal family's pre-Christmas lunch is one of the most talked-about events of the season. It's a tradition, a moment for the royals to gather, smile for the cameras, and remind everyone of their closeness before heading off to celebrate Christmas in their own ways. This year, King Charles has decided to host the gathering at Buckingham Palace again, after moving it to Windsor Castle the past couple of years. It should be a simple family event, but behind the polished appearances and royal traditions, tensions are bubbling beneath the surface. You see, this year, there are whispers that Prince William and Kate Middleton might not attend. To royal fans, this is huge news. The Prince and Princess of Wales are often the stars of the show, with their 3 children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, charming everyone during the holidays. But the real reason they might skip this time? Well, that has everything to do with family dynamics that have been uneasy for years, and much of it can be traced back to the complicated history between Prince William and Queen Camilla's children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes. Let's step back for a moment to understand how this all started. It's no secret that King Charles and Camilla's relationship began during a very painful time for William and his brother, Prince Harry. When Charles and Camilla finally married in 2005, it wasn't just a marriage between 2 people. It was the merging of 2 families that had been on very different paths. Camilla's children, Tom and Laura, suddenly became step-siblings to the future kings of England. But things didn't go smoothly, especially in the early days. William and Harry had lost their mother, Princess Diana, in the most tragic and public way imaginable. The world had watched Diana suffer as Charles's affair with Camilla became headline news. For William, who was close to his mother and fiercely protective of her memory, Camilla represented something painful. Adding her children to the mix made things even more awkward. Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes weren't part of the royal world before their mother's marriage to Charles. Tom, a successful food critic and writer, was already living his own life in London's elite social circles. He had his own identity and didn't see himself as part of the royal family. In fact, Tom has been clear about this over the years. He once said that he and Laura weren't quite part of the royal family and described themselves as just the common children on the side. For Tom, his mother's marriage to Charles didn't suddenly make him a royal. He never spent Christmas at Sandringham or took on royal duties. Instead, he preferred to focus on his career and live his life outside of the royal spotlight. Laura, on the other hand, built a quieter life as an art curator. She co-founded an art gallery in London and stayed away from the media as much as possible. For her, the royal world was something she occasionally brushed against because of her mother, but it wasn't a place she belonged. But even with Tom and Laura keeping their distance, their relationships with William and Harry weren't easy. At the heart of it was blame. William reportedly struggled to forgive Camilla for the hurt she caused his mother, and sometimes that frustration spilled over onto Tom and Laura. Royal insiders say that in the early days, William and Laura clashed often. William blamed Camilla for his mother's suffering, and Laura would fire back, saying, "Your father ruined my life." The arguments were heated, emotional, and painful, reflecting the complicated feelings everyone was grappling with. Over time, the tensions eased a little, but they never disappeared completely. William and Tom might have shared a few polite conversations over the years, but they were never close. Their lives were too different. William was being shaped into a future king surrounded by tradition, expectations, and scrutiny. Tom, meanwhile, lived a much freer life, writing books about food and appearing on television shows. He didn't have to follow royal rules or worry about his public image in the same way William did. Still, the two men managed to coexist. They didn't see much of each other, and when they did, they kept things civil. But as time went on, William's discomfort with Tom grew, especially when it came to the media. William values privacy more than almost anything else. He watched his mother's life be torn apart by the press, and he's made it his mission to protect his own family from that same kind of scrutiny. So when Tom started making media appearances, whether to promote his cookbooks or to talk about his mother, it didn't sit well with William. Tom's comments about King Charles's health earlier this year didn't help matters. After Charles's cancer diagnosis was made public, Tom praised his mother, Queen Camilla, for being a source of strength. On the surface, his comments seemed harmless, even supportive. But to William, it was a reminder of how easily family matters could become public fodder. For William, who has spent years carefully managing the public image of the monarchy, Tom's casual approach to media felt risky. It brought back memories of other times when family secrets were exposed, times when trust was broken. To William, trust is everything, and he's careful about who he lets into his inner circle. This brings us back to the present day, and the Christmas plans causing so much speculation. Reports suggest that William and Kate might skip the pre-Christmas lunch at Buckingham Palace this year. On the surface, their reason seems simple. They might leave early for Anmer Hall, their home in Norfolk, to spend the holidays with their children. William has said before that he enjoys Christmas in Norfolk because it's a chance to take long walks with the family dog and enjoy some peace and quiet away from the spotlight. But for those who know the dynamics of the royal family, there's more to the story. Insiders believe that William's decision to skip the lunch has everything to do with Tom Parker Bowles being invited. William hasn't said anything publicly, of course. He never does when it comes to family matters. But his actions speak volumes. By choosing not to attend, William is quietly making a statement. To him, inviting Tom feels like crossing a line. It's not about holding a grudge, it's about protecting the monarchy and his family's privacy. And while Tom might laugh off the rumors, brushing aside any suggestion of tension, the reality is more complicated. For Queen Camilla, this situation is deeply personal. She has spent years supporting King Charles and carving out her place within the royal family. Seeing her son at the center of speculation and knowing William's feelings about him can't be easy. After all, Camilla is both a queen and a mother, and those roles don't always align perfectly. As for William, he's focused on the bigger picture. He knows that the monarchy's future rests on his shoulders, and he takes that responsibility seriously. For him, this isn't just about one Christmas lunch or one person. It's about drawing boundaries and making it clear where he stands. Of course, all of this is happening behind closed doors, with the palace doing its best to present a united front. But the truth has a way of bubbling to the surface. And for royal watchers, the tension between William and Camilla's family is impossible to ignore. This Christmas, the cracks in the royal family's carefully polished image are showing once again, and everyone is watching to see what happens next. But even with Tom's casual approach, his relationship with William has always been tricky. William has spent his entire life under intense public pressure. He knows how fragile the monarchy's image can be, and he guards it fiercely. Tom, on the other hand, has always felt more relaxed around the media. His occasional interviews where he talks about his life, his mother, or his own career have sometimes rubbed William the wrong way. To William, privacy is sacred. For Tom, it's just another part of life. In a recent interview, Tom spoke about the media's harsh treatment of his family. He recalled how, in the late 1990s, the press chased him at high speeds and yelled at his mother, Camilla, to get a reaction. He described it as barbaric and horrific, saying he learned to count how many paparazzi were at the gates ready to snap photos. But as bad as it was for Tom, he admitted that William and Harry had it far worse. Losing their mother, Princess Diana, and then being hounded by the media for years left deep scars. Tom said it was appalling what they went through, and he couldn't help but sympathize with the princes. Even with that understanding, the relationship between Tom and William remains distant. Tom chooses not to get involved in William and Harry's struggles. He said he learned a long time ago not to put his fat fingers into their issues. It's clear that Tom sees the complicated royal family dynamics and prefers to keep his distance, but that doesn't mean the tension isn't there. And then there's Camilla's sister, Annabelle Elliott, who found herself caught up in this silent family drama. For 2 decades, Annabelle worked for King Charles as an interior designer, managing projects across his estates and helping to update properties like the Duchy holiday cottages. Charles trusted her completely, and she was paid well for her work. Over the years, she earned anywhere from £25,000 to £106,000 annually for her services. But when Prince William inherited the Duchy of Cornwall after Charles became king, things changed. William, known for his sharp focus on efficiency and modernizing operations, decided to cut Annabelle's role. Sources said it wasn't a reflection on her work. The estate simply didn't need her anymore. The current staff had learned sufficiently from her, and William saw no need to keep her on the payroll. For Annabelle, this decision might have felt like a blow. After all, she had worked closely with Charles and Camilla for years. But for William, it was just another step in asserting his leadership. The Duchy of Cornwall is no small estate. It's a massive source of wealth for the royal family, and William now oversees every detail. Cutting Annabelle from the payroll was a way of streamlining operations, but it also sent a clear message about where William stands with Camilla's family. At the same time, it highlights how William approaches his role as the future king. He's determined to draw boundaries, and he doesn't let emotions cloud his decisions. Annabelle's removal wasn't personal, but it was a sign of how carefully William is managing the monarchy's image and finances. Meanwhile, Camilla, as always, is in a difficult position. She loves her children, Tom and Laura, and she's proud of the lives they've built. At the same time, she knows her role as queen comes with responsibilities and expectations. Moments like these, when William draws a line or makes a decision that affects her family, put Camilla in an awkward spot. She's balancing 2 worlds, her loyalty to Charles and the crown, and her love for her children. But this Christmas, things are coming to a head again. Reports say that Tom Parker Bowles is set to attend his first royal Christmas celebration this year. To the casual observer, this might not seem like a big deal. After all, Tom is family, right? But for William, it's more complicated. Inviting Tom to join the royals for Christmas brings up all those old feelings and unresolved tensions. Ever since King Charles's cancer diagnosis became public, the royal family has been under even more scrutiny than usual. Everyone is watching to see how they come together during such a difficult time. Charles wants to include everyone, to show unity and strength. Camilla naturally wants her son to feel welcome and included. But William? He's wary. For William, it's about protecting the family's image and keeping things under control. He doesn't want to risk Tom saying something to the press, even if it's innocent. After all, Tom has given interviews before, and while he's careful not to stir up drama, William doesn't like taking chances. William values privacy above all else, and he's spent years trying to create a safe, private space for his own family. Inviting Tom into the fold feels risky, and it's not a risk William wants to take. And then, there's the question of whether William and Kate will even attend the royal Christmas gathering. They've kept quiet about their plans, but insiders suggest they might skip it entirely. On the surface, their reason seems simple. They might leave early to spend Christmas at Anmer Hall, their home in Norfolk, with their children. William has always said he enjoys the peace and quiet of Norfolk during the holidays. He loves taking long walks with their dog and spending time with George, Charlotte, and Louis away from the spotlight. But those who know the royal family dynamics see more to the story. Choosing not to attend the Christmas gathering, especially if Tom is there, would be William's way of making a statement. It's a quiet protest, a way of showing where he stands without saying a word. William isn't one for public drama, but his actions often speak louder than words. As for Tom, he seems unfazed by the speculation. He's always been clear that he doesn't see himself as part of the royal family. He's just Camilla's son, and that's enough for him. He has his own life, his own career, and he prefers it that way. But even Tom can't deny the tension that lingers between him and William. It's subtle, quiet, and polite, but it's there. So, as Christmas approaches, the royal family finds themselves under the spotlight once again. To the public, they'll smile for the cameras and show a united front. But behind closed doors, the cracks are hard to ignore. Camilla will do her best to bring her family together, while William and Kate quietly decide whether to join the celebration or stay far away. It's a reminder that even the royal family, with all their wealth and titles, is still just that, a family. A family with complicated relationships, old wounds, and unspoken tensions. And while they try to keep those struggles hidden, the truth always has a way of coming out. So what will happen this Christmas? Will William and Kate attend the gathering, or will they stay in Norfolk with their children? Will Tom finally feel like part of the family, or will the distance between him and William remain? For now, all we can do is wait and watch as this royal story continues to unfold. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the royal family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.